Alright friends, so we are here to go ahead and start our learning about ecosystems with our first learning target being I can explain what an ecosystem is. So remember to pause and rewind as you need so that way you can have appropriate understanding, and we will be taking notes. If you have our digital notes, go ahead and make sure that you have those up and you're following along, pausing the video. The notes go in the same order as the video, so be pausing to make sure you get that information down. Same if you have our paper notes. Alright, let's jump right in with some vocabulary. The first one is an organism. We know this word from before. We know that an organism is any living thing. And now we're talking about ecosystems. So ecosystems are a community of organisms and their environment. When we say environment, we're thinking about non-living things, okay? Now, what do we mean by non-living things? Well, let's go ahead and talk about that. So within those organisms, we know it's living things like plants and animals, including humans. And the non-living examples would be like soil, water, rocks, air. So when we're talking about an ecosystem, we're talking about literally everything in that place, right? If I'm talking about our playground in ecosystem, I'd be talking about the blacktop. I'd be talking about the ground with the soil. I'd be talking about the playground equipment. I'd be talking about the people on the playground. I'd be talking about the birds in the sky, everything within that place. And so all of the things in the ecosystem, they interact with one another in a specific way, right? If we're talking about an aquatic ecosystem, let's say maybe a pond, the ducks interact with the fish by eating the fish. The fish interact with the algae by eating the algae. The algae interact with the water by getting nutrients from the water. So they're all interacting with another in a specific way. And organisms can only thrive. Thrive means like do well. You're happy if you're thriving, where their needs are met. We're not going to see a polar bear in the desert. A polar bear's needs cannot be met in the desert. And so that's why specific organisms live in specific places, in specific ecosystems. There's two main types of ecosystems. The first one is terrestrial. Terrestrial means that it is on land, okay? It has that, I forget if it's Greek or Latin root. That means land. Okay, and so examples of this would be like a grassland, a deciduous forest, and a rainforest. And we're going to learn more about these as we progress through our ecosystems module. And then there's also aquatic ecosystems. Aquatic ecosystems are in the water. We have saltwater aquatic ecosystems, and that would be the ocean. And then we also have freshwater ones such as ponds, lakes, or streams. So go ahead and make sure that your notes are complete. There's also a little apply activity at the bottom where you're going to go ahead and hit this learning target and think about your own ecosystem. If you have digital notes, make sure you share them with Moon and then go ahead and turn in your assignment.